What's happening, people, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about tips on getting into plumbing or construction for the first time, right? First tip, what I would say to you is get some books and read up on plumbing. Understand where it first started, yeah? Because if somebody asks you, what does plumbing mean? You want to be able to answer them. So if anyone is a apprentice plumber and they watch these videos or they're looking for some tips, first question I'm asking you, what does the word plumbing mean? Like, where did it come from? And let me know in the comment section below what it means, if you know. So once you've found out what plumbing means, you understand what the job role entails, right? So we work with the mains water, what's coming in. We work with the waste pipes which are leaving the property, and we also work with the appliances leading up to them, right? So you've got loads of appliances which need, or possibly could need, a feed, which would be a cold water supply. These are the things which you can find out in your own house to understand a little bit more just about plumbing. And you don't have to start wrecking your house or undoing taps or looking at or taking the shower apart to be able to understand how the shower works. You might say to yourself, when I get in the shower and I hold the shower head up, the water starts to get a little bit like there's less water. And when I bring it down, the water starts to come back up. What does that mean? So if you're able to work out what that means, you're able to understand a little bit more about plumbing, because plumbing and a lot of things are run on gravity. So you might not have a lot of pressure, but I wanted you to work this one out for yourself. But I wanted to see if you was following the lines and you was going along with the understanding, because I know that understanding what you're doing allows you to be able to do it a lot more confident and allows you to understand, I know what I'm talking about. And that takes a period of time. So that's why I know that every person who qualifies as a plumber straight away considers themselves a plumber, but you have to have the experience, and having the experience is understanding how systems work, how your own system works, and how to diagnose problems when they're happening and before they happen as well. So these are all skills what relate to a skilled tradesperson, and that's what a plumber is. Very skilled tradesperson. I would like to say they're one of the best which are out there. Not just saying it because I'm one, but I am one. But anyway, we digress. Let's keep on moving. So when you're looking around your own house at home, you can now work out if you've got quarter turn taps, because how you open them, maybe they're in the wash hand basin and you can see if they open like that or they turn. So you might want to work out what type of cartridges you have inside there, but you need to work out how to take the head of the tap off first. Again, this might be another lesson, but it's a lesson which you can learn on your own, and you can say, aha, I know now. But you could actually make yourself more understanding about the general things which you probably come across by looking in your own property. Even when you're looking at your radiators, when you turn your radiator up from 1 to 3, work out or understand or go online and you can find out what that number 1 degrees is and what that number 3 degrees is. These things will all start to make sense to you. So when people do have conversations with you, you'll be easier for you to interact and obviously get to the answer what the person might be asking you for. And I think some of these skills, everyone could learn them for themselves. If they needed to benefit themselves, I'm sure they would. But it's not everyone's necessity to know everything about plumbing. But I do think the more you know, the more easier it makes your job. So that's why I say look at home. Another thing I would say is watch a lot of my content, because I make tutorial content. I come from a educational background where I have been in schools and colleges, and hopefully I'm trying to give people the information which they need to get from one point to another point, because I can see in between, I'm reading the lines and I'm saying this is where you're slacking with this type of information, because you might not know it. Again, I didn't know it. I had to go out and find it, but finding it, it's easy because it is out there, but you've got to retain that information as well and actually understand it for yourself, because people are going to put you to the test when you are actually a plumber. So there are loads of books, loads of courses which are online. They're things which, even though you may be sitting a course now, it's a good thing to brush up on things if there are some questions, multiple questions, quizzes which are online. Those can help you with your knowledge within plumbing, because having a good IQ as a plumber will allow you to shine above others, but also be able to navigate and make money as a plumber, because that's what most people's goals are when they become plumbers. I don't think they're just plumbers just for the sake of calling themselves it. I think they actually want to make some type of money. That's what I think a lot of people's goals are. Tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right in the comment section below. This is another conversation I want to keep on having with you guys in the comment sections, because I know some of you lot who are getting into plumbing are a bit shy to drop comments, but I do appreciate if you do so, and also subscribe to the channel as well, because it takes time to make these types of content. I have to think about it, and I have to dig deep in my content brain and say to myself, maybe people want to hear these types of things. Hopefully I'm getting it right. Please let me know again in the comment section. So we move on to our next part. So we've got looking in our homes. We've also got finding information online, doing courses, attending colleges. That's most important if you're trying to really become a plumber. And what also I would say is start to path out your way as a journey, what you want to take as a plumber, because there's so many different routes what you can go down. I'm going to tell you what route I went down. So when I was an apprentice, I worked for a firm, and then I left that firm and I started to do maintenance. I was into maintenance before at the beginning, so I had a decent understanding of plant, of boilers, of AHUs, of cylinders and stuff like that. So I had a good understanding of it. So it was quite easy for me to carry that on in another environment, which wasn't my apprenticeship anymore. But I always saw people say and heard people say, you need to get on price. That's where the money's at. So at a point, I jumped from doing maintenance to price. A lot of people don't really do that, because maintenance is classed as maybe a slow man's job, but it's sturdy. That's one thing I will tell you. Personally, I would say it's sturdy. Another thing I will say is that also jumping to price, I'm now having to work for my money instead of getting paid a standard rate, whether I did a lot, whether I didn't do a lot. That's the truth. And that made me have to up my levels and my games as well, because again, I've got to get a certain amount of work done for the day. The environment was a bit different. Not for me, I would say, the site work and stuff like that, but everyone's going to find something which is for them. So path out your path and your journey as well. That's a tip, what I would say, because a lot of people just allow kind of things to happen when you can be in control of your journey, because as a tradesperson, you're only out of work for work's sake if you want to be, because there's that much work out there. But again, if you're a highly skilled person and you're always thinking about upgrading or doing courses or higher levels of education, you will definitely get somewhere, because there's not loads of people there at the end of the day. That's my tip for you, but make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next upload.